Testing, testing. Got kind of an interesting setup here today. Let's make sure it's working. Testing, testing. All right, seems to be working. Cool. So yes, this is my video today. Is on. I'm going to be using this digital workstation here called Logic Pro. Sorry, I keep hearing crazy stuff going on outside. Mouse settings. I'm wondering if I can make it so you can see my mouse. Oh yeah, you can. It's very small, maybe, but mouse. There we go. Let's see. I just want the mouse to be big. How do I do that? So yeah, this is quite of interesting setup I had to do here to make this work. But basically what I'm going to teach is called sampling. And that's where you take some audio, whether it be a voice or drums or whatever, and then you chop it up and then make music out of it. And you hear this in hip-hop music a lot, electronic music, but increasingly in pop and in all genres. You hear... There we go. Haha, I made my cursor large. There we go. Increasingly in all genres you hear sampled music. So hopefully you can learn something, but also hopefully I'll make something cool sounding. So this here, I'm going to try to get rid of all this junk so there's not as much to look at here. There. Okay, so these are the tracks. I have 2 tracks. This one I'm going to name Voice. And the other one there says Cavin' In. That's just a song I'm going to use later. You can make them bigger. So that track called Voice, that's my voice coming through. So if I pressed record up here, don't want to click. Testing, testing, here's my voice. There we go. So you'll see a waveform. This is called a waveform, and this is what I just recorded. And you can almost see what I said. Testing, testing, here's my voice. Testing, and I can press play and hear it. Testing, testing, here's my voice. There we go. And I'm pretty sure you could hear that. So yeah, testing. So it's pretty simple for me. I can just record whatever I want. Now, what sampling is I can take that recording and map it to my keyboard. So I'm going to do something that's not talking. I'm going to sing a note. So let's hear it. Actually, I have this flute here. Maybe I'll play a note. Let's see. So I'm going to record it. Let's see. Nice long note. Nice steady long note. Let's hear how that note sounds recorded again. Great. Now in this new version of Logic, I can drag this down here and go to Quick Sampler Original. All right, now it brings up this thing. So this is where all the magic happens today. So here's my sample here. I can play it. I can trigger it using my keyboard. So I have a keyboard that you can't see, but a real keyboard that has keys. And now I can play the sound of the flute on my keyboard and play it in different notes. That sounds great, actually, the flute. You're welcome, Robin. Of course. I could draw more stuff for you later if you'd like to. Let me move this up a little bit so it doesn't block the words. There we go. Yeah, so this is a flute sample now I have. So I could probably play a song using this flute sample. Using this flute sample. Let's see. Like. It gets a little shrill up here. Anyways, so that's the basics of sampling, is that you take a sound and then you can play with it. Now there's all these settings in here. So filter, pitch, amp, all these things do stuff. Some of them I'm familiar with. Some of them I just play with until I get a sound that I like. But for now, here's this. So I'm going to save this actually as flute. So if I save as flute 1, because I like the sound. Maybe I'll use that in a song sometime. But I can do other fun things. Like, let's try a funnier sound, like hey. So I can say hey, and now I should be able to make a sampler track out of that. If I go, oops, I go original. Oops. If I do that, oops. Oh my gosh. They just added all these features onto Logic, so I'm a little new to it myself. Hey! 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 Yep. Hey! 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 So, hey! And there we go. And so that is a sampler. Now, I'm going to listen to this song that I have loaded up. This is a song I recorded my friend Pat. So let's listen to a little bit of it. Caving in, never mind. Caution taught, watered in, cared for, but nothing grew. It's time to try anything new. It's a pretty song. So let me turn it back up a little bit. So I can take other songs like this song, and I can take parts of it and make a whole new song out of it. So I'm gonna look for kind of somewhere where we're not singing so much. Screaming out. So that little piano, doom. So I could probably cut that up. Let's try that. So cut it there, and then I can cut it here. And then I can drag this to a new sampler. And now I should be able to play with this. Let's see. Cool. That's cool sound. Now what I could do is maybe change it a little bit. I'm going to try this filter out. So a filter is just like maybe a water filter or a coffee filter. Is it blocks certain things from getting through it. So in this case, I'm going to block the high frequencies. So let me explain what a high frequency is. If I go back here, I can pull up an EQ. So when this is playing, you'll see this kind of this line bounce around. Just watch it for a second.
screaming out.
So this on the left side is the low end, I would call. So left would be low, and then right is high end. So this song, there's some spikes in the middle. It looks like there's actually some muddiness going down here that I'm gonna
Turning you.
and then there's a lot going on in the middle, but not too much in the high. But I can use my filter. Let's go back to this. To use this cutoff filter to cut off the high end. So this is what it would sound like with no high end. You can't barely hear it. I'm going to bring it in slightly. So instead of, here's full volume. Now I'm going to take out the high end halfway. Or even more. You hear how it loses its brightness, and all you hear is that low sound. Now I can do that was a low pass filter. So basically low pass means you're letting the low end through, letting all those low frequencies. If I do the opposite, a high pass, this cuts out all the low things. Which I kind of like. That's kind of cool sound. Follow tempo. Okay, cool. So that's a filter. So now I've got one sound from this song. It's a little piano. Let's try to record it on a loop. So I'll use this click.
Caving in.
So I've got this 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just play a few notes with this. So like. Something like that. Actually, there was a few weird notes, so I'm going to try that one more time. 2, 3, 4. Cool. So I like that. Kind of atmospheric. So now I can go in and now let's find something else. Maybe something percussive. Like percussive means something that sounds like a drum. I know there's no drums on this song, but maybe we can find a word, a p sound or something. Oh, I like that note there, so I'm going to cut that out actually. So that I'm going to make a new sampler out of. So let's try that note. That's pretty cool sounding. I'll keep that. Maybe I can add it as a layer or something. Oops. I want to stretch this out. I actually want to record one note here.
Caving in.
Alright. Oops. Forgot to mute that. So let's see how that sounds. So I can maybe add that little ding dong on top of that other sample. So let's try that. Something like that. I'll try one more time. Cool. Now loop those. Loop just means to repeat it. So I'm going to repeat those phrases that I just played in. Now, here we go. Cool. Now I think we need some percussion. So what I'll do is I will record some percussion like this. So maybe I want like a thuddy sound. So let's find something in here that I can make a thuddy sound. I do have a drum set right behind me. But yeah, I could just go one kick drum like that. So I'm going to do that. Alright, so I got a kick drum sample here. I'm going to chop and then make a new quick sample out of. Hey, Olive. What are you doing? Oh, thank you, Olive. Alright, so here's. Whoa. Sounds like a gunshot there. So that was a kick drum, but it sounds like a snare. I could use both. So now that I've got kind of a percussion, I can record that in. Oops. What I don't want to do is change the sample that I already did. Oops. So let me do a new sampler. Oops. Keep saying oops. I want to drag it to a new line. What am I doing? Okay, there we go. I need to make it smaller. All right. Now, original. This should work. Kick drum sound. That's a cool sound. I could use this low pass filter again. Whoa. Now there's, I could use this thing called an amp filter now. So this amplitude is how loud something is. So this area over here is the amp area. Let's get rid of this one. So I hear this sound, the kick drum goes and kind of lasts longer than I want. I want it to be like and then end staccato. So I got to use this amp area, I think. I could make it quieter or louder. I don't want to make it quieter. I want it to get quiet quickly. So I use this little line here, and I can scoot it over here. Let's see. Now it's more like a that might be a little bit too short. Let's try this. That's good. Cool. Now I can go back to my song here and I can play that in now. So if I press record. So I think this is my loop area right here. So let's try that. So I got a little kick drum action. maybe like a snare sound. Ooh, I could add that flute in there too. So that's what I'll do. I'll just play the snare. Doesn't need to be in time or nothing. I can just use that snare there and chop it, make a new instrument out of it. Okay. Now I have a bunch of snares. I can do a high pitch one. I can do a low pitch one. So in the middle. So let's see how that sounds. I'll add the snare in. Something like that. Cool. I can do something called quantize, which would make everything sound like I have perfect timing. So that's kind of an interesting thing. So let's see. I think if I go to each one and I region, I make that quantize maybe 16th note. Let's try if that works. See if my timing gets a little better. Oh wait, I forgot. I didn't record to a click, so that wouldn't make any sense. Now I'm going to try to add that flute sound I just had in. So let's do duplicate this. And I'll go to the sampler. And I saved a flute. Oops. So I'm going to go to flute 1. So I'll see if I can find a chord that matches what I have. Something like that. That sounds pretty cool. So this is what I have so far. So if I was a vocalist, check. Sitting in my room during quarantine, how do me improvise some lyrics. Now add a harmony. Sitting in my room during quarantine, how do me? All right, so there's my song, improvised. Sitting in my room during quarantine, didn't. I mean, I guess I played the drum and sang, but other than that, the rest of this was kind of it was sampled from different pieces of music and made a wholly original. Some people think hold on. Some people think that sample based music doesn't count, like it like, oh, they don't play their actual instruments, you know, like a lot of hip hop gets flack for that, or um you know, a lot of people are kind of judgmental of that type of music because it's not played with what people call real instruments, so like guitars and basses and drums and stuff. And a lot of it's done on the computer, if not all of it. Like you just saw me make a little tiny piece of music, all on the computer. And to me, the end result is what matters. If it sounds good and it moves you, then who cares how it was made? I actually think it's just as difficult to learn a program like this as it is to maybe um, learn the basics of guitar or piano. It's harder in some ways, and it's easier in other ways. But yeah, so maybe I'll try to make a sample and then play a little jazz song. Maybe I'll sing along with it too. So, what should I make a sample of now? I think I'm gonna do. I did the flute before, so I think I'm just gonna do my voice. I'll try to make a whole kind of ballad out of my voice. So let's see. So the first thing I need is like a chord, so something like a piano sound. So I know a piano sound has an attack, which is like the percussive part, the ding, and then it fades out like doo. Instead of something like ooh with just an ooh, it has like a d at the beginning, or I could do p or a b, boo, do. I feel like do is the right note, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Here we go. Do. Too high. Do. Do. Okay, that's good. Now I'll make a new sampler, and this will be my piano sound. Do, do, do. So I want to make it sound more like a piano. That's cool. I can make them bend. Filter on it. That sounds good. All right. So that's my piano sound. All right, so I got my piano sound. Now I kind of want to do, before I start playing the song, I kind of want to get a drum loop going. So in jazz, we got kind of a sound. I have some shakers, but I want to do this all with my voice. So I'm going to do a few different, I'm going to try something. Let's see. I'm going to try to do each sound that I'll need. So a kick drum, a snare maybe, and a hi-hat, and maybe a cymbal like do. Okay. Oops. I need to record it up there with the voice. So. So that must have sounded silly, but that's what you gotta do. Okay, so let's see. Quick sampler, drum machine designer. Let's try that. Creating drum machine designer. I don't know if this will work, but I'm hoping that it'll use my sounds. Oh, it did. Cool. That's awesome. So it automatically split up my sounds into the different drum parts, and I can play it with my keyboard now. So, okay. I'm going to record a little loop now. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's probably good. Oops, I should probably do that to a click. So let me try that one more time. Where's my sound again? Okay, here we go. I did a little bit of a syncopated drum pattern there. Split. Alright, so this is that. Alright. So let's hear that. Alright, now I'm going to try to do a bass sound. So let's go back up to my recording zone here. Now I'm going to record a bass sound. Do. Maybe I shouldn't do because I already did do for the. So I'm going to go like boom. There we go. Bum. 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 I'll try it one more time. Bum. Bum. Alright, that's a good bass sound. Alright. Boom. Let's try that. Whoa. Whoa, that is low. Okay, so now I'll try recording a little bit of the bass line from this song that I'm going to play. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Shoot. Let me try that one more time. I might need to slow it down. It's a little bit too fast. So let's go. Try like there. Okay. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oops. It's kind of hard to get this right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that'll do for now. So I got about 12 bars or so. All right, now I'm gonna go back to my my piano, and I'm gonna add that in. All right, let me get that first chord in. All right, so now I got that. Got bass, got drums. Now I'll just do the vocals on top, and I'll just sing this part. Somewhere there's music. Wait, what key is this in? There we go. Had the wrong starting note. Somewhere there's music. How faint the tune. Somewhere there's heaven. How high the moon. There is no moon above. When love is far away too. Till it comes true. Cool. Now I'll just turn that bum down. There's music. How faint the tune. Somewhere there's heaven. How high the moon. There is no moon above. When love is far away too. Till it comes true. There's music. Now I'm gonna do a solo. There's music. How faint the tune. How faint the tune. Somewhere there's heaven. How high the moon. There is no moon above. When love is far away too. Till it comes true. So there's that. Cool. So I hope you learned a little bit about sample-based music. This is kind of creating sampler instruments, but it's super common to sample a whole drum beat and then use that drum beat on another song, or use maybe just a piano line. So yeah, next time you hear music that you could tell the people didn't actually play their instruments, maybe remember that they had to learn and sculpt the audio in something like this, a digital audio workstation. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you tomorrow for another drawing video. And I'll do something fun with music on Friday. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Whoa.